Hey, I thought you and me could learn a little bit about spirit photography. Now, what do you say? When the craze of spirit photography popped on the scene in the 1860s, the United States was reeling from the Civil War, which had claimed over 600,000 lives. And with the nation in mourning, people were drawn to just about anyone who offered them just a glimmer of hope to connecting them with the souls of their dearly departed. And in the 19th century, Americans in particular, they were enamored with the growing spiritualism movement. Back then, you had self-proclaimed mediums that would perform seances so the living could speak with their dead, and you also had photographers that would grant the wishes of the bereaved so they could see their loved ones one last time. And the most popular of all the spirit photographers was Boston's own William Mumler, who to this day, we still don't know how he pulled this off. Mumler just happened to be an amateur chemist and an overzealous entrepreneur who once peddled an elixir for dyspepsia. He was trained as a silver engraver, and when this newfangled invention called photography came out, he had to try his hand at it because people were willing to pay $1 for a photo. Now, to practice, he would take self-portraits, and one of these photographs had an anomaly. It had what appeared to be someone standing to the side of him, even though he was the only one in the room. Now, with this photo and with his skill for self-promotion, he was written about in a whole bunch of spiritualist newspapers, luring Bostoners to pay a whopping $10 for a photo with their lost loved ones. Kindly, Mumler did warn that there was no guarantee that a departed soul would appear, that he didn't command the spirits, and that they came and went as they pleased. Now, let's say a photograph didn't come out as the customer expected. Let's say they got a grown man instead of a long-lost daughter. Mumler would help the client search their memory to find out who that grown man could be. Now, you can't have a job like this without your skeptics. And J.W. Black here, he was one of them. Now, he demanded a demonstration, so he sat for a photo with his little newspaper. He watched the photo be developed, and once it was, he saw this image, and he was in such shock, he bought the photo and hurried and left the studio. Sometimes good things just don't last, and the evidence proving that Mumler was a fraud began to mount. You see, there was one instance where this lady requested a photo of a brother she recently lost in the Civil War, and he took this photo, but miraculously, this brother returned home alive. No, I bet you that was awkward. With things getting hot in Boston, he decided to relocate himself to New York in 1869, but once there, he was arrested and tried for fraud, for which he was later acquitted. After returning to Boston, he decided to completely shy away from spirit photography and refocus his efforts on chemistry and photo development. And with that, he created what is called the Mumler process, which allowed photographs to be printed on newsprint, and that completely transformed the way journalism is done. Now, you know he needed one last hurrah. Well, this is of Mary Todd Lincoln 5 years after Abraham Lincoln's assassination, and this was the photo produced. And this was the last photo taken of her in life.